Hi there, this is Lousy Facelift, and today I want to compare these two sound modules by Roland, the XV-3080 and the XV-5080. I just bought this 5080 at a studio sale in Hamburg, and let me tell you a little story about this. I basically wanted to buy it because it has this larger display, which I thought was a good thing. It also has a sampler built in that the 3080 doesn't, and it has 32 MIDI channels that it can play back at the same time. The 3080 only plays back 16 MIDI channels at the same time, and the most important difference probably to most users is the higher resolution on the 5080. The 5080 has 44.1 kilohertz resolution, and the 3080 has 32 kilohertz resolution in the sampling rate. So I bought this unit at the studio. I didn't really check it out that much there. When I was there, I basically just turned it on to see if the display went on, then turned it off again, took it home, and at home when I hooked it up, I noticed that sometimes it had. Oh, right here you can see. Okay, I was just moving the dial, and you could see that it didn't change. Okay, so this encoder seems to be a bit messed up. So I thought, well, okay, great. Now I bought uh, a dysfunctional unit, so I called the studio, said, well, something's not alright, and I want to give it back. They said, well, no problem. Get here tomorrow. We'll give you your money back. And then I sat here, checked it out a little more, and I noticed that there were the maximum RAM expansion in it for the sampler, and also 5 expansion boards, right, that were not mentioned in the offer. So I basically um, thought about giving the unit back, but first of all, first I wanted to put the expansion boards out, which I in the end I didn't do because I think that would have been a bit mean. So I called them up and asked them if it was okay. It has this slightly dysfunctional thing with the encoder. I asked them if it was okay if I kept it with the expansion boards. They said it was okay for them. So in the end, I made a really good deal. So okay, one day in the life of Lousy Facelift. I'm sure that was highly interesting to you. All right. Nevertheless, it has different sounds, right? The XV-3080 sounds different from the 5080 because they use different resolutions, and I just wanted to make a demo of that so that you know what that difference means. I will change the sound. They both use the same preset sounds. I switched the effects off on both machines. I set the output setting on the 5080 to 0 dB. You can see that right here. It says 0 dB. On the 3080, I put the master level all the way up to 127. So I think that's the setting which is best to use when you want to compare the two. Um, okay. As I said, they use both the same presets, and they both have the sounds of the JD800 or JD990 included. Um, and I'm going to demonstrate that really quick so that you can see what they sound like. Oops, sorry. Okay, I have to turn the microphone off, and then I'll show you some sounds. Okay, I'll put the volume up a bit for both of the units. So I think the level I'm using right now is a bit low, so I'll have to adjust that real quick. Okay, I'll turn up the level even higher. That was still a bit low. Okay, maybe now we can compare them a little better. Sorry, that's a bit difficult because they are programmed using quite different levels. It's not really easy to find out the best level for this now. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that was a rather awful voice, if you ask me, but I don't really know what I'll get in advance. I'll just see what comes up and then do the comparison. Okay, I think you can notice a pretty obvious difference here. Let's hear that again. The difference is really a lot less than I thought. Maybe you have a different opinion, but um, I think it is really hard to tell the difference. Let's check out some drum sounds. All right. So much for this little comparison. Hope that was interesting for you. Maybe you're thinking about buying either one of the two, or you simply wanted to hear what they sound like. I think they're great units, and the XV-3080 is often offered on eBay, and you can make a real bargain there if you look for one of those. All right, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.